We are go for liftoff.
Yo. Welcome to an episode of Toke Talks, your sports podcast for the everyday fan. I'm your moderator, Chino, here with host Felix, Luciano. I'm here once again with the co-host, Dustin Walter.
What's good?
We're gonna always with us present is Mr. Nice.
Mr. Nice.
Hey, shout out Gui. We got the Drunken Dogo in the building.
What up?
Yeah. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached cruising altitude. We're about 49 days outside of NFL season.
Till Christmas, baby.
I feel it in my skin right now.
Excited. I'm excited, boy. This my sport. Well, I like baseball, but this is my second sport.
No, this is the sport.
This is the
sport, for sure.
Everyone enjoys watching football. We all enjoy talking about it. We got, what was it, 49 days, right?
49 days, so we'll give a shout out
to the 49ers.
To the 49ers.
The only number team in NFL.
Hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo has had a healthy offseason and he comes back and shows us what he can actually do, because I want the full taste. Like, I'm sorry, pause, whatever. I want a full season of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hey, there's been a lot of...
especially with Kyle Shanahan
as
a head coach.
There's a lot of hype there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
If you ask a 49ers,
if
you ask a 49ers fan right now, they think they're in a position to make some noise.
Hey, they could be the sleeper team.
I feel like every fan says that about their team right now, besides like the Giants and...
No, I'll say that about my team right now.
Yeah.
I will say it about my team. Ask me about anyone. Saquon Barkley is ready to take on anyone. Saquon versus the world. That's the new shirt.
Hey, Saquon is probably going to be one of the only few running backs freaking actually playing this season. We got... Is Le'Veon Bell even coming? He signed, right?
Le'Veon Bell's not
so
with the
he's
Jets.
back, but now we got talks of Melvin Gordon sitting out this season, talking about he wants more money. They also have what's his name, Ezekiel Elliott. Shout out my boy. Even though he's wanting more money, trying to sit out as well.
Yeah.
What do you think they're both gonna end up doing?
I really hope they don't sit out, just because I understand that these players are divas and we discussed this, but we're talking about their health here. This money that they're betting on themselves and this money that they're essentially betting on their career, regardless what move you make, it's crucial. Like, if you get franchise tagged, you're talking about getting paid top 3.
Hate the franchise tag.
Yeah, but
absolutely hate.
But if you get franchise tagged, if I'm not mistaken, you get paid the average of the top 3 people in your position, correct?
I believe so. I'd have to double check on that.
Dustin, I'm gonna have to call for a new category in the NFL. We need a RB wide receiver spot. These running backs are starting to become receivers, so much so that you can't tag them. Le'Veon Bell just took an entire season to sit down and prove it to everybody. Stop franchise tagging me as a running back, because I'm not only a running back. I'm a wide receiver as well.
Yeah, it needs to go back to like tailback, fullback, maybe like a wing back or something.
We need a new position so that if you fall into that category where you're a player like Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Melvin Gordon, we're talking about him.
Yeah.
He's a receiving back.
Not yet.
When you're going to throw the ball, he's as deadly running the ball as he is catching the ball. Would you not agree with that? With the not him specifically, but I'm saying like with the running backs in the NFL now that are receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Christian McCaffreys, Le'Veon Bells,
so
those kind of guys.
So I don't want them to sit out. I know it sucks. I would want them to just ride it out the season, because you got to think about your fans.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these people have your name on the back, riding everything on you, and they live vicariously through you. You're their favorite. You're their hero. And if you're going to sit out for a whole season, think about how many fans you're losing in addition to all of this.
By the way, I just looked it up. In the franchise tag, it's the top 5 players.
Top 5?
Yeah,
so you would get paid the third person.
Essentially, yeah.
Kind of.
So, no, I'm all for players getting their money.
Okay.
I think, if I was a player in the NFL, I would do whatever I have to do to get that bag. Especially if you're a running back, because you only have so long, especially a good running back. You're only going to be good for about a handful of years. And Melvin Gordon's 26. Running backs usually peak around that age. They really start to decline around 28, 29, 30. It's pretty much the end of them.
You have to be a freak of nature like
So,
AP to still be doing
I
that.
totally understand where they're coming, but as far as the money side goes, I kind of want to break this down for you, like how much money they'll be losing, because a team can fine a player $40,000 for each day they miss training camp. Now, for Ezekiel Elliott, it's a little bit different because he's on his fifth-year option, so for him, it'd only be $30,000. But for Melvin Gordon, if he misses all of training camp, that's going to equal to approximately $1.5 million in fines.
That they can fine him.
If now they have the option to. Now they might be like, Melvin's our guy. He can sit out till we figure it out. But if they want to, they can fine him a total of $1.5 million over training camp, which is a good amount of money. Now, when we think of running backs and holdouts, we immediately think of Le'Veon Bell and what went down last season.
Because he's the most recent.
But if you look at his contract, the Steelers actually offered him more money.
It was just for a shorter time.
And it wasn't as much guaranteed money.
The one thing that I do like what you're saying.
He wanted guaranteed money.
And I do agree with you betting on yourself. As the running back, that's the position that doesn't age well in the NFL.
Absolutely not.
You age almost double or
you're
triple.
Replaceable.
So,
you're replaceable.
By that perspective, I have to stand behind Le'Veon Bell because he got the extended contract. He got the years that he wanted.
Not only did he get the years, I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh only offered him like 1 year less, but he got the guaranteed money. That's why Le'Veon held out. He wanted, like, God forbid I tear my ACL week 1, I want to make sure I still have my bag.
Think about it. Your position, the entire position is drawn up to hand you the ball, and if you're a person like Ezekiel Elliott, crash into the line.
Exactly.
Crash in. Your position is designed to get hit. And that's why I think that new category needs to get put in there. Alvin Kamara, you don't see him taking those hits.
He doesn't get hit.
He doesn't get hit like that. The handoffs that they're giving him are through a hole that they're building for him on a sweep where he can use his speed to be more elusive. But then you have to have that other backup, like Mark Ingram. The person that's going to pound it in and loosen up that defense. Yeah. So I understand that, like, everybody needs to get paid, but at the end of the day, the running back position, I wouldn't say it's as important as the quarterback position. I still would put that at the 1. But the RB position, it's definitely coming up there now with all these receivers.
They're number 3.
With all these receiving running backs.
I put RB at 3.
I have to respectfully disagree. If we're ranking positions in NFL as far as most important, I'd probably go quarterback 1.
Okay.
O-line 2.
O-line or edge rusher. So you can either put 2 or 3 there.
Yeah.
A good quarterback, someone to get the quarterback, and someone to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
First 3 right off the bat, no matter what. Then I'd say a guy like a middle linebacker that can be the quarterback of the defense. A guy like Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly?
He brings so much to the Panthers. Like, running back for me would probably be like 5 or 6 down there because they're extremely replaceable. Now, when we're talking about these players, go ahead.
When I say RB being an important position, I mean it from an offensive standpoint. If you ask me when we're building a team and if you're going to talk about the rankings of the positions, I agree with you, but I also disagree with you at the same time. I would say the number 1 is the quarterback position. The number 2 is going to be your head coach position.
Well,
we're talking
about players on the field.
Sure, even players on the field. I think number 3 is going to be your middle linebacker.
So who's the second then, as far as players go?
Then it would have to be your middle linebacker. I think you need
some quarterback and then middle linebacker?
Yeah, I honestly feel like it goes back and forth because you have to have a quarterback on each side. Your middle linebacker is your quarterback for the defense. Bobby Wagner is exactly who he is because of the team that he plays for. They rely on their defense, and he is the captain of their defense, essentially the quarterback of the defense.
No, for sure.
The same way Luke Kuechly would be the quarterback for that team.
But the only reason I would disagree as far as like an edge rusher being more important or an offensive line, especially an edge rusher, because a middle linebacker is only going to be so effective. If nobody's getting after the quarterback and they could just sit back there all day, you can only do so much.
Yeah, but also by that perspective, the offensive tackle or the offensive line in general.
I wouldn't even say O-line. I'd say left tackle.
No.
Left tackle is by far probably the second most important position on the field. Left tackle.
That's not where I'm touching. I'm saying with the offensive line, when you're an edge rusher, the offensive line can account for you. Like J.J. Watt. The reason why that team is so great is because even if you account for J.J. Watt, the team has so many other people attacking you, like Clowney coming at you, that you can't really just double up there.
Yeah.
With a middle linebacker and him being the captain so much, he'll put you in the position where you don't even have to worry about that. Luke Kuechly is out there watching more film than anybody. Even if you're a lower end defensive tackle or somebody that gets to the quarterback, I think with him being there, he will put you in a better position to get at the quarterback.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you rather have both players in their prime, 100% healthy, a Khalil Mack or a Luke Kuechly?
A Luke Kuechly.
Over a Khalil Mack? A Khalil Mack? Okay, now
look,
we're splitting hairs here.
Uh-huh.
We're talking
about 1A and 1B.
Yeah,
yes.
I want to stress
that.
Like, I'm not saying one's better than the other. They're both fantastic. But if I'm starting a football team, I want that guy that's going to get to the quarterback in under 3 to 4 seconds.
And I want that guy that's going to know every single thing that quarterback is going to do and is going to be inside of his head every single play. And you want to know why this is a great discussion and why this is a
Khalil Mack isn't in quarterback's head? They're not thinking of that dude coming around the edge?
Sure.
Ooh, they're in his head more than Luke Kuechly is. I'm telling you that.
But hear me out here. This is why football is so great. And this is why you got to love discussions like this. These are how defensive schemes work. Different defensive coaches are going to get selected depending on what kind of schemes they play. You go in there to an interview and you start pitching them, oh, I want the defensive tackle to come and I want somebody like Campbell coming at them and everything like that. And some teams, you'll fit in right into their scheme and they'll be like, that's perfect. You're the kind of coach we need.
Yeah.
But other teams don't need that. Other teams need somebody like Luke Kuechly because the team's in shambles and half of the people out there are young and don't know where to be.
But have you noticed something? Have you noticed how much we're talking about defense right now?
Yeah.
Now back to the running back talk. They're not that important, man. And I want to bring up the whole Melvin Gordon and Ezekiel Elliott thing again as far as the buyouts go. Now, if I'm the Chargers, I'm paying Melvin Gordon because of one reason, Phillip Rivers. An aging quarterback needs a good running back up behind him. Melvin Gordon is far more important to Phillip Rivers than Ezekiel Elliott is to Dak Prescott. If I'm the Chargers, I'm paying Melvin Gordon because who's behind center? Now, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, no way in hell I'm paying Zeke what he wants. Absolutely not. In fact, I'm probably trading him to get good value back for him.
Do you remember what the Dallas Cowboys looked like when Zeke was suspended?
Do you remember what the Dallas Cowboys looked like with DeMarco Murray back there?
Yeah, that was my dog.
I'm telling you, okay, look, Ezekiel Elliott averages 300 carries a year. 300 carries a year.
You know what that tells me?
And his stats are declining.
You know what that tells me? That he's an every down back.
Okay, yeah, but you know what that also tells me? He's taking a shit ton of hits. He's getting hit probably 290 of those times.
We just finished discussing this. That's what their position's made for. That's
why
they don't
I'm
age
saying
well.
You don't pay it because look, they got rid of DeMarco Murray and they immediately found a replacement. You don't pay running backs that kind of money. Now, like I said, if I'm the Chargers, I'd probably do it because who's behind center? Phillip Rivers. He needs a great running back that can carry the load for him. But I want to provide an example for you. Last year, everybody was having the debate, who's the better running back, Ezekiel Elliott or Todd Gurley? And I think it was pretty much a 50-50. Me, personally, I'd probably say Todd Gurley when healthy.
Why? Because of his catching.
Yeah, but Ezekiel Elliott's a hell of a pass catcher as well.
I don't think he's on the level.
But hear me out real quick.
Like when we're talking about top 3 running backs, if we're talking about rushers, you will say Ezekiel Elliott every single time in top 3.
Yeah.
When we're talking about catching running backs, you will never say
PPR,
that.
I'm not picking
okay, but
top 3.
All right, but what I'm trying to get to is everybody thought that Todd Gurley made Jared Goff. Okay, Jared Goff's great because he's got Todd Gurley in the backfield.
I feel you.
And everyone says the same thing about Dak Prescott. The reason Dak is so great is because Zeke's back there and they're crowding the box. They got 8 or 9 people in the box, and that's leaving wide open lanes for wide receivers to run down the field.
You know who
but what happened? Hold on. What happened when Todd Gurley got injured last year? What happened to the Rams? Jared Goff stopped being so dependent on the running back position. He expanded a little more. He got better as the season went on. And they went to the Super Bowl without Todd Gurley.
CJ Anderson did fall on their laps.
Perfect. Exactly.
Sure.
Replaceable. You don't pay him.
Sure.
I bet you right now the Rams are regretting the contract they gave Todd Gurley. No way in hell they're not.
Okay, let me ask you one question, though. Just to wrap up what you're saying. At the start of the season, if CJ Anderson is your running back, are the Rams still in the Super Bowl?
Probably not because they don't get it. No, look, that's a different thing, though. But it wouldn't be C.J. Anderson, though. If they didn't have Todd Gurley, they would be actively looking for a good running back. It'd be a better replacement.
But you are the Rams. You're nobody. When we're talking about these other teams,
they would have drafted
when
somebody.
We're talking about all these other teams that find other running backs, it's kind of like the Yankees, feel. You get what I'm saying? Like you show up to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Jerry Jones is sitting in his mansion of a playground with his feet up and he's talking to you about nothing that has to do to football because he knows that he's going to offer you a contract that you're going to sign.
Now, but my point is the Rams still got to the Super Bowl without him. He pretty much missed the entire playoffs. I know he played a few plays, but that was not the Todd Gurley we all know and love.
I just think Todd Gurley not on that team, that's not the same Rams.
Of course they're not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're just as good without Todd Gurley. I'm saying they're replaceable.
They're replaceable, but we're talking about winning Super Bowls.
You can do that without a Todd Gurley.
Which running back?
What's the best running back Tom Brady has ever had when he's won a Super Bowl? Come on.
We're talking about somebody else here. Don't even bring that into discussion because we're talking about a team.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Can you name the starting running back on the Green Bay Packers when Aaron Rodgers won?
I can name a bunch of running backs.
Who was the starting running back?
They had
for the
Eddie
Packers?
Lacy last time.
Oh, yeah.
They had Eddie Lacy this past year.
Okay, is Eddie Lacy a Todd Gurley or is he more of a C.J. Anderson?
He's more of neither. He was a fat guy that shouldn't have been signed to no team.
Who was C.J. Anderson? A fat guy who shouldn't have been on a team.
C.J. Anderson was already on the team though, and he was already getting work. The reason that he didn't end up staying with that team,
but he was a fat dude out of shape,
was because there was a young cat who showed up and took off and took the running back position by storm. Another person that we're talking about that needs to fall into this category, running back receiver, McCaffrey. Nobody talks about Christian McCaffrey, and that kid is a stud.
For sure, but I want to stay on the Zeke thing. Are you paying Zeke?
I'm paying Zeke.
You're paying Zeke exactly what he wants.
I'm Jerry Jones.
Then
I have my
feet
feet sitting up, ready to spend whatever money. You know why? Because he's not an owner afraid to take any of the luxury tax. Charge me whatever you want.
Where has that gotten them in the past 25 years?
I'll tell you one thing, though. With Dak Prescott, one thing that I didn't say that I wanted to touch. You want to know who saved Dak Prescott's career? Amari Cooper.
And the offensive
line.
That's the man we're paying.
I wouldn't even say the offensive line.
But you can't pay all three, though.
When
you cannot pay Dak,
I'll pay Cooper out
Zeke,
of all of
and
them.
Amari. One has to go.
When Ezekiel Elliott was healthy, everything was cool. When he wasn't suspended, everything was cool. As soon as he started missing those games, everybody was talking about the Dallas Cowboys not making the playoffs no more.
Okay, so this is perfect. You're walking right into it. Who are you getting rid of then? Because you can't pay all three. You
Zeke.
just paid
I'll get rid
DeMarcus
of
Lawrence
Zeke.
a shit ton of money, over $20 million a year.
Here's my thing.
We gotta keep
You
Lawrence.
trade Zeke because running backs aren't as important as they used to be. They might not be as good. You pay Amari Cooper, you pay Dak, and you go get a decent running back that could fill the void.
Where do you put Amari Cooper at in top receivers in the NFL right now?
Top 10.
Yeah, definitely not top 5. That's for sure.
You would say top 10 though, because I don't even know if I'm putting him in top 10.
I'd have to look at a list of wide receivers, but I mean, he had a hell of a season last year. He has a bad case of the drops. That's why he probably wouldn't be in my top 10 if I wouldn't put him there. He doesn't have the best hands, but besides that, he can run every route on the route tree.
Okay, now let's talk about the quarterbacks. Is Dak Prescott in your top 10?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now let's talk about running backs. Is Ezekiel Elliott in your top 10? Every
Dak
single
might be
person
like
in
that.
this room,
That's true.
please answer that question.
Yes.
Is Ezekiel Elliott in your
but
top 10? So here's my thing. We're talking about, I understand that it's different positions and more importance and everything. You know what's the one position we didn't talk about being important? The wide receiver position. The argument was quarterback versus running back.
Amari's not going to ask for what Zeke's
Quarterback-
asking for, though.
Yeah.
Quarterback, we're talking about a player who's not in the top 10. We just finished discussing that. Running back, we're talking about somebody that is in the top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Receiver, we're talking about somebody that we would have to argue to keep him in the top 10.
You don't put Dak in the top 10 quarterbacks?
No. No way in hell.
Who you
If
got?
he is,
Who
he's
is in
10.
top 10 right now?
Anyone.
No way.
Anyone. Tom Brady.
Okay, one.
Patrick Mahomes.
Hell no.
What?
Patrick Mahomes isn't better than Dak Prescott?
And the podcast.
Yeah, come
Bruh,
on.
y'all
No.
man.
That's the donkey comment. That's the donkey comment of the day. That's the donkey comment of the day.
Bro, man got one season under his belt.
No, that's... Bro.
What? 50 touchdowns?
You're about to lose your football card.
Look
50
at his team.
touchdowns.
Look at his team.
Oh, please comment under this video as many times as you can.
We are go for liftoff.